Okay, this video is for those of you who are on lesson 5 and need some extra help and you're a little bit confused about how to do this backside. So we're going to do a few together. I'm not going to do all of them for you, but I'm just going to do the ones that I think are going to help you the most. So we're going to start with this first one right here. This has 3 different elements in it, and I'm going to use my pen to color in where those elements are. We have lithium, and then we have sulfur, and we have oxygen. Okay, now when we have a number that is after the letters like this, it goes with that one right here. So that means that we have 2 lithium. And when there is no number right here, it's always just 1. Whenever there's no number, it's just 1. So we have 1 sulfur. And then oxygen, there's a little 4 after the oxygen, right after it. So that means that 4 belongs to the oxygen. So there are 4 oxygen. Okay, let's do this one next. So we have, the 2 that we have is barium and chlorine. And there's only 2 because we have an uppercase and we have a lowercase. When there's a lowercase letter, remember it belongs to the one right before it. And then we also have chlorine. Now the little 2 after the chlorine belongs to that chlorine, so we're going to color that 2. Now the only thing that we haven't colored yet is this 3 here. The 3, when there's a big 3 in front, that means that we're going to multiply everything after the 3 by that 3. So what I mean is that there are 3 of those, and there are 3 of those. So because barium does not have any number after it, it's just automatically 1. Oops. So that means we have 1 times 3 is 3 for barium. And then we have 3 times 2, which is 6 for chlorine. All right, now we're going to do this one right here. Okay, we have 3 different ones. We have lead, oxygen, and hydrogen. The first one is lead. It has a symbol of P, uppercase P, lowercase b. And there's no number after this right here, so that means it's just 1. Then we have oxygen, which is the O, because there's no number right after the oxygen. It's going to be a 1. And then we have hydrogen. Hydrogen is right here. Because there's no number right after the hydrogen, it's just going to be 1. But wait, we have parentheses. Now our parentheses, right here, we're going to color that to orange because it's right after the parentheses. When we have a number right after the parentheses, we're going to multiply it by everything inside the parentheses. Because you see how the parentheses is hugging this O and H? So that 2 only goes to the O and the H. So for lead, we're going to have just 1 because it's not in the parentheses, so it's just 1. And then our oxygen is 1 times 2, just 2. And our oxygen, or our hydrogen, is 1 times 2 right here, so that's 2 as well. All right, we're going to do one more together. We're actually going to go all the way down to the bottom of the paper, and we're going to do this one together. There we go. Okay, so we have 4 this time. We have nitrogen, hydrogen, phosphorus, and oxygen. So our nitrogen is this first one. because there's no number after the nitrogen, it's just 1. And then our hydrogen. And our hydrogen has a 4 after it, so we're going to color that 4 green. You do not have to color these if you don't want to. Just for me, it makes it easier to see everything. And then we have phosphorus. Because there's no number after phosphorus, it's just 1. And we also have oxygen. And then there's a 4 right after, so that 4 is also pink. But there's one last thing that we haven't colored yet, which is our parentheses. Our parentheses are right here. This is supposed to be red. Because that 3 is right after the parentheses, we're going to color that 3 red. Okay. So now what we have is, because there's a 3 in the parentheses, it's going to be multiplied by everything inside the parentheses. So for nitrogen, it's 1 times 3, so that's 3. For hydrogen, 4 times 3, that's 12. Then phosphorus, because it's outside the parentheses, and there's no number, so it's just 1. And then for oxygen, there's a 4 after it, so we're going to say 4.